is the A to Z podcast. Expert insights on leadership, business, real estate, investing, and growth.
One of the most powerful competencies that you need as a professional leader, entrepreneur, is how to influence people who have influence over you. These could be your superiors, could be voters, could be the board of directors or shareholders. You want to get their blessing, approval, support, and you want them to be your ally. That requires you to develop the right mindset and the competency it takes to influence them. When we provide workshops, we give it different names. We may call it influencing upward, managing up, or influencing influencers. It doesn't matter. In those workshops, we help participants, first of all, to understand why should you care? You're already busy developing so many skill sets. Now, why should you care about influencing upward? The second thing that we cover is why so many people are not influencing upward. There are certain things. Some of them are really real issues that prevent them from influencing upward. Some of them are imaginary. And the third and the final topic we're going to cover today going to be some of the strategies that we offer to our participants. How do you influence your superiors, people who have influence over you? Think about this. Influencing your peers, a little bit challenging, but doable. Influencing people who report to you, influencing people who you have influence over. You could be their mentor, you could be the parent, you could be the boss, you could be the donor, the funder. Easy. You have some leverage. But when you influence up, you don't have a lot of leverage. The only leverage that you have is your ability to create influence out of thin air, so to speak. And today you're going to develop that. But I encourage you, don't use it as a manipulation. Don't abuse it. Just do it the way I share with you. Because if you manipulate it, if you abuse it, it may backfire. Your superiors, they may sense it, and they may not be influenced. It may even go against you. That's why you have to have these genuine interests to influence upward, because it's a win-win to you, to your superiors, most importantly, to the greater good. Let's first clear the air. What is influencing upward? This is about you being proactive, intentional, to influence the people who have influence over you. And you use your mindset and the skill set and character to become trustworthy, credible, authentic, and most importantly, someone who cares about them and the greater good. The question is, influencing upward, you can now wing it. You have to develop it. It's a competency. And when you look at someone who's getting all the approvals, all the signatures, all the support for their team, for their department, for their company, because they excel in influencing upward. Today, what I will do is I'm going to share with you some of the benefits that may encourage you to take this seriously. This is a skill set. You could use it everywhere, regardless of a culture, regardless of the people that you influence. This competency, this is one of the most important competencies you need to have in your toolkit. Here's the first benefit. The first and the most important benefit for you is because you always need allies. Who's the better and the best ally you want to have? The people who have influence over you, your superiors, the board of directors, the donors, the client, the most important clients. These allies could help you succeed. They could become an obstacle if you couldn't succeed. Therefore, you need allies and you want to make them your allies. The second reason that you want to develop this skill set is because you need support from these people in the form of approving, signing, supporting you, endorsing you. The third reason is because there is competition. Think about it. You are a team leader or project manager or supervisor. There are other supervisors. There are other project managers. There are other team leaders. And you are competing against the same resources, same budget, the same A players, the same superiors. Who's going to get the attention? Who's going to get the priority? Who's going to get what they need? Those who have the ability to influence upward. Those who have already developed authenticity, credibility, and good relationship and trust with their superiors. The fourth one is because the people who report to you, your peers, they are always measuring where you are in that organization. And if they see that you have influence with the influencers, the decision makers, and the top leadership, what happens? They respect you. You borrowed influence from these people and they support you, they respect you, they get along with you, they want to work with you. But if they see, not just see, even if they sense that you don't have favor with your superiors, even the people who report to you, who are supposed to respect you, look up to you, they don't. You don't blame them. You are their leader. And you're not bringing them the approval they need, the resources they need, A players they need. You're not getting the endorsement. Can you imagine you, a leader of a team, and they need so many resources, so many support that they need, and you're not supporting them because you're not influencing upward. Other team leaders, other supervisors are getting what they want. And the team members, they love them. Now let's talk about why so many people don't do it. These benefits, I just shared with you a couple of them. There are many benefits in developing, influencing upward. But let's talk about this. Why many people are not influencing upward? There are some roadblocks, some reasonings, some justifications. Some of them are justifiable, but many of them are not. Let's see some of the reasons that are preventing people from influencing upward. The first one is, I don't want to suck up to my boss. Many leaders, they think that if they get along with their boss, if they influence their boss, communicate with their boss, they may think that they are sucking up to the boss and they don't want to have that kind of relationship. I remember I had a conversation with one of my friends. He's kind of like arrogant guy, and he always thinks he's proud and stuff like that. For a leader, you don't need that. If you are a solo guy, you can say, I'm my own man, and you can walk around and you say, I don't need anybody. I can become whoever I want if you're a solo guy. But we know that one person is insignificant, insufficient, and incapable of doing anything meaningful and to have any impact. And therefore, this guy was talking to me. I like him in many ways, but this is just his weaknesses. I always don't reject people because they have weaknesses. I have weaknesses. Therefore, he has so many things that I like about him. We were friends. And one time he was sharing with me the secrets, why he's not sucking up to his boss. He was complaining about his peers. He was telling me, Eddie, you don't understand how much people can go to suck up to the boss. And I was like, interested. What do you mean by? All these people, they go out there. Whenever he tells them to come and have barbecue with him. They go there, abandoning their other commitment that they have. They go out to play with him, with golf with him. He was just enlisting things they're doing, and he was resenting that. He thought that was wrong, and I was trying to help him. Look, these people are not sucking up to your boss. For them to be successful in what they do, and for their team and their work to succeed, they need to get along with their boss. Actually, they are getting off our opportunity to know him better, for him to know them better. And he was like, no, I just don't feel good at it. I don't want to go and suck up to him. I don't want to go there. And whenever he calls me, I don't want to go. I have a work. I'm 9 to 5 here. I over deliver. As far as I'm doing my job, I don't want to do any extracurricular activities. What a wrong mentality. So some people have wrong mentality. They think influencing their superiors, going there, giving them feedback, and lobbying them, pitching them is sucking up to them, but it is not. The second reason is they're afraid that if I go out there, provide feedback or suggest or propose something, what if they think like I'm acting, I know better than them? What if they get irritated? They fear the backlash. Maybe they had that experience before, and I don't blame them. But because of that, they're not reaching out. My advice always to our participants is do your part. Go out there. If they prove you right and get irritated, and if they push back too much, at least you try your best. Don't reserve yourself from reaching out by having these assumptions that they're going to be irritated. They think I know better than them. They may not think like that. The third fear people have is, what if whatever I'm sharing is nonsense? They already have better views and scope about the work that I do. What new things could I be able to tell them? They already know. If there is something that should be done, they already know. They should have done it. Why would I go there and look fool? Again, hey, it's better to look fool and get something if in case they're not thinking that thing that you're suggesting, in case if they find it very helpful. Why would you refrain from taking your chance? You go out there, even if it feels like you're going to be looking stupid or fool, it doesn't matter. You are a leader for the best interest of your team and the greater good. Sometimes it's okay. You don't know something, they teach you. At least they appreciate you that you go out there with whatever that you have, you interact with them. If you miss something, they show you. If in case you didn't see something, they give you perspectives. You have become better because you've been communicating with them. The fourth fear people have is because when they go out and reach out, if in case they are unable to get what they want, they think the relationship may be destroyed, and even they maybe get fired. I have that kind of people who share with me their fear to go out there, talk to their boss. What if they fire me? What if our relationship gets destroyed? All of these are potentially risky, but we are leaders. We're here to take risk. When you take risk, you compare the benefit and the cost. And when you make analysis, if the benefit is a little bit better, you take a chance. And I believe the benefit you get by reaching out to your superiors, people who have influence against you, outweighs the backlash or the setback you may experience. Now let's talk about some of the strategies that we need to have to succeed in influencing upward. The first strategy that you should have is to understand the person. You can only communicate with someone that you understand. If you don't understand them, you may not be able to influence them. And there are many ways you could be able to understand that person. At least you want to understand their goal, their passion, their desire. A lot of people tell me that, look, because somebody is a boss, they think, they don't have any ambition, any aspire. No, they are, wherever they are on the hierarchy, they have kind of goal that they have, kind of desire that they have, like you have. Your job is to figure that out. Of course, if you have good relationship, you can ask them. Or if you know someone who knows them, you can ask those questions. But you make some effort to understand their goal, the desire in the workplace. And then whatever suggestions that you have, whatever feedback that you have, you pitch it, you package it so that they could see that there is something that's beneficiary to their goals. I have a client who was struggling with his boss. His boss, he had a goal to retire. He always talks about, I'm going to retire by having successors, and I'm working on that. He knows that, but everybody knows who going to succeed that person. There was a second man under this leader, and suddenly this second man left the company. Now 3-4 people were competing for that position, and this client I was talking to already gave up. His reason is this: my boss always favors her, and she most probably would be the one going to succeed him. And I asked him, have you heard him say these words? He's no. Have you talked to him, your desire to succeed him? No. How can I go there and ask him to make me his successor? It's unfair. And also, what if he says no? I don't want to be embarrassed. Here's what I told him. Look, you already know his goal. His goal is he want to retire within a few years, but he want to have a successor. This is a true identity of great leaders. They measure their success by the successors they raised. And when they leave, they know that that team, that company, that organization is taken care of. And I told him, pitch your idea to him as someone who is ready to be mentored to succeed him. Show your strength, why you could be a great successor, and tell him how that makes it easy for him to leave the company and retire, making sure that the company is on a safe hand. Of course, he took his homework, he packaged it, and he tried the first time. The person told him, I have my own process to go through, but I'm glad that you are interested to be considered. I will consider you. I have my own questions and my own approach to make the final decision. Don't expect me to appoint you, but now I take you seriously. And from that time onward, this client was always finding ways to prove to his boss that he is the right successor. The second strategy that you should have is to understand their concerns. What keeps them awake at night? Some people, they care about people, how a decision, a policy, a proposal may affect people. Other people, financial things are their top concerns. And if you go and pitch someone, and if you don't address their concerns, they would say like this: it's a great idea, great proposal, great project, but. And my advice always is preemptively eliminate but by addressing the concern. There was a lady who volunteered for a chamber, and she wanted to come up with an initiative, but she has seen the president always shooting down initiatives after initiatives. And we were chatting, and my suggestion to her was, what's his concern? Why is he shooting down projects and initiatives. She told me he cares about budget. He's always concerned about budget. And he always tell people, good idea, but we don't have budget for this. It's a great idea, but we don't have money. And I told her, how can you package your initiative in such a way that you could show him that you could be able to have a great return, not only you bring back the money that the president need to spend, but even quadruple the return once the project is done. She packaged it that way when she pitched to the president. The fourth strategy that you should have is to understand the way they communicate. Some leaders, they communicate through stories. Some leaders, they communicate through data. They better understand data and information when you present to them with facts, with statistics. Some, they better understand it when you show them something or share them with stories. I can give you a couple of examples. Eleanor Roosevelt, when she was dating Franklin Delano Roosevelt, she was dating him and she was trying to convince him that there is poverty in the United States, and he didn't believe her. She wanted to influence him. That was one of her desires, for him to pay attention to some disadvantaged areas in the United States. And what did she do? She took him to New York in the ghetto and showed him the existence of poverty. That stuck in his head, and he was convinced that this is a real issue and he wanted to do something about it. If she was trying to just convince him it exists and you have to see this picture, look at the statistics, she wouldn't have been convinced of him. But she took him there. He saw it with his own eyes, and he can't deny his eyes. Another example is Ronald Reagan. When he was the president of the United States, there was arm race between Russia and the United States. And this is a scary nuclear race. And one of his aides wanted to convince Ronald Reagan to negotiate with the Russians about reducing nuclear arms. And he tried to convince him, but he didn't pay attention to him. But finally, he realized that Reagan, he was a movie star. And he thought maybe if he shows him a movie that shows the impact of a nuclear blast, he would be convinced. And that's what he did. He arranged a sitting, ran the movie, Reagan watched the movie, and he decided to negotiate with the Russians because he was a star, a movie star, and he better process things through movies than other means of communication. The question to you right now is, how does your leader communicate, process information? Don't assume that your style is their style. Their preference in communication is yours. You have to understand that and align your proposal or your feedback according to their style and preference. And of course, you have to know their pet peeves, their hot button. And I remember one time I was part of a team and my boss wanted to take a 2 weeks to Canada, 2 weeks off. And he came up to me and said, Ezi, I've seen you, you work hard and you are a leader. I'm going to delegate you, but I want to make sure that you don't call me, you don't text me. This is dark vacation of greed. I don't want you to call me. I don't want you to email me. I don't want you to reach out to me. You're ready. Just make the decisions. And he wrote an email, hey guys, AZ will be covering for me for the next 2 weeks. Just support him. And he left. I was happy because I was dedicated. I was proud that he believed in me. That day, I was calm before the storm. Nothing happened. The next day I came, there was a decision I had to make, but I was not ready. It was a tough decision. He already trusted me. He believed in me. How can I let him down by making a wrong decision? What if he asks me, why didn't you let me know this? You knew this is very critical. I don't want that kind of questions to be asked. So I'll reach out to him. Regardless of his warning, don't reach out to me. I just say, you know what, I'll forget that. And I'll reach out to him. And first, I sent email, forwarded the email. Hey, I have to make a decision on this one, but I appreciate your input. Nothing happened. I escalated it. After a couple of hours, I texted him, look, I'm facing this difficult challenge. I sent you an email. Would you please advise? Nothing. And then before I go to home, I said, you know what? Nothing has happened. I have to make this decision. If I come tomorrow and nothing happened, I'll make the decision. But who knows? He may respond to my text or my email after hour. Maybe he turned off his cell phone. He's not looking at it. But let me give him this evening. I went, came back the next day. Nothing was there. I had to make a decision. And suddenly something happened. Something flashed in my head. Why not reach out to his boss? She's in a better position to help me than me making the decision. I thought that was an innocent decision. I drafted an email, CC'd my boss, and sent to her. I don't know how fast he opened his email. I got a call from him, and I didn't know what's going to happen next. I picked the phone. Easy. What did you do? What did you do? How did you go over my head? How did you do that? Click. I'm like, what did I do? What does that mean? Going over his head. I was like, I didn't know what to say. I think after he called down, he called me back. Still, I can see his voice is still cracking. You shouldn't have sent that email to my boss. Never contact her without my approval. Don't do this again. I'm like, I never heard of that. I didn't know that was his hot button. He completely changed. A nice person, a respectful person, completely changed because I didn't know his pet peeve. Back then, I blamed him. Why is he making this a big deal? What's this a big deal? I didn't know. But that's not a big deal for me. That's a big deal for him. The key thing is that was my assignment. I should have known his pet peeves. The last thing is one strategy you could use to influence upward is providing feedback. A lot of people are afraid of providing feedback. Part of the reason is because feedback is tough. It may backfire. It may not go well with their superiors. But I can tell you one thing. If you want to influence the board of directors, the shareholders, your CEO, or if you are a CEO, your board, if you are a president, your voters, if you are a supervisor for your manager, is to give them feedback because they are up there. They need someone as eyes and feet and hands. When you bring them to feedback, you are helping them to understand what's going on down there. This is one of their starvation, to know what's happening on the ground. And the moment you start to give them feedback, they find you as a partner. You are a prospect to be promoted because they see that you are an ally with them. They see that you do what a lot of other managers or supervisors or CEOs are not doing. And therefore, you are a candidate to be in their peer, to be in their presence. Providing feedback, however, it requires its own ways of delivering it. I created a video, educational video. You can find that. I'll leave the link here for you to practice it. In summary, influencing upward is one of the most important competencies we need all of us to develop. There is no one on earth who doesn't have a boss. Somewhere, somehow, there is someone you report to. Unless you are God, there is someone you report to, somebody who influences you, somebody that you need to succeed to do something. And for you to succeed in whatever you're doing, you need to have the ability to influence upward. And today, I justified why you should invest on it. Also, share with you why a lot of people don't do it because of some reasons that they have. And finally, I gave you 5 strategies. Some of them may not work for your position, but I believe some of them work. And most importantly, if you have never tried it, try it and see whether it works or not. Of course, if you need coaching on this, you can reach out. And also, if you want to help your people, especially at the bottom, like team leaders, supervisors, and project managers, if you want them to influence upward, because this is good for the greater good. Your top leadership need this kind of leaders who influence them, give them inputs, propose, provide feedback, suggest, and so on and so forth. You need workshop or webinar for them. We would love to do a half day or full day workshop on this one. I appreciate you for watching this. And also, I ask you a favor, please like and share this video. There are a lot of people who are going to benefit from this. The more you like, the more you comment, and the more you share it, the YouTube algorithm take it seriously and present it in front of other people. That way we could be able to reach as many people who really need this to go to the next level in their leadership, business, or profession. Bye-bye.